Hello, dear World of Warcraft friends. Patch 12.1 will be released here on Wednesday, and one question I get asked very often is, what should I definitely get done before the patch? That is, yes. All in all, that's a question that really depends on the individual, so just do whatever you still feel like doing or whatever you want. But let's go through it anyway, and I'll give you 2 or 3 tips. Which things you should definitely take care of before the patch comes. And with that, let's get started with the video. If you want to support me, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It's free and we want to hit 38,000. We're almost there. I would really appreciate it. And with that, let's get started. Point number 1, and we've already looked at this in a previous video, get the items that won't be available anymore with the new season, as well as the titles and achievements. So I'm not going to list everything individually again, but it's about things like the Delver's Journey, the Journey, or the Bounty Hunt Season 1 Journey. All feats of strength tied to Mythic Plus and the raid, so ahead of the curve and everything that goes with it. Defeating the Delve boss Nullius. We also made a video about that showing how you can easily take him down if you're a healer. So everything that's seasonal content, raid, dungeons, PvP, delves, bounty hunts, just do whatever interests you. For example, I completely missed out this time, even though in previous years I always got the mythic achievement. I didn't do any raids on heroic at all because I honestly just didn't care. Maybe I'll at least get the heroic achievements. Maybe I'll just skip it completely because I just don't feel like it anymore. We will see. So that's definitely something you should get done. One of the most important things for the new campaign is actually the new quest line. I've already finished the first part here. For me, it's now called A Favor for Kinduru. But if you haven't done any of it yet, open your quest log and then the Curse of Ulatek should appear here. The first chapter, Legacy of Armani, is already playable now. And you get this quest here in the middle of the Sanctum of Light in Silvermoon. The problem is, I hate questing and I actually don't like it. But if I don't get this part done now, I won't be able to continue with the rest in patch 12.1. At some point, like here, the last chapter, Battle of Atal Utek, it also wants you to clear the raid. You can't do that either. That means ideally, before the patch comes out, you should have finished the first chapter. That's about 15 quests, so you can continue right away. Of course, it's not a must, right? So you can also play the first chapter on Wednesday. However, if you want to dive straight into the new content, you should finish the first chapter in advance. As for gear, there aren't really any strict requirements for what you have to do and what you don't. I would recommend that you try to get your gear as high as possible with the resources you still have. For example, if you realize right now, I still have 200 gilded crests or something, maybe craft yourself another mythic item for the slot where you're not so well equipped. But I wouldn't run 17 mythic dungeons anymore to use up all my bonus rolls here, or grind or something like that. So just by doing Mythic Zero dungeons, you get an item level of 292 in the new season. So you catch up really quickly. To put it that way, it's really just about when the Mythic Plus season starts. Then on August 19th that you catch up as quickly as possible, and of course it helps to have the best possible gear, right? But even here, I wouldn't go out of my way and grind for 7 hours every day now. Just take what you can get, and for the rest, just let it come to you. Another important thing, in my opinion, is the topic of currencies. And that's pretty much everything. Everything that's in this Season 1 chapter will be reset. We also made a separate video about that. and I would recommend that to you. If possible, spend what you can, at least where it's worth it, especially with the lore coins. They will be reset, and the vendors will also get new rewards. That means there are currently a few cosmetic items there that you won't be able to get in the future. Although Blizzard hasn't said whether, for example, this coal pan will be completely removed, but the fact is the coins will be reset, which means even if the items stay in the game. For example, I still had 17,000 left and didn't even realize that I hadn't bought a mount here yet, or that I was still missing some of the decorations here. So it's better to spend the coins before they're gone. You don't need to convert mana fluxes. All items with Season 1 item level can be used in Season 2. You can convert them for free without any charge. So in other words, these boots here, when Season 2 arrives, I can convert them for free. There will be new mana fluxes. The empty cores will all become worthless. It's known that there will be new bonus roll cores and new cores to upgrade your gear. I'm pretty sure that these will become gray items, which you can simply sell. Because when the new patch comes, these items will also lose their seasonal status and can no longer be upgraded with crests, and that's why I assume it won't work with these empty cores anymore either. So pay attention here as well. Maybe you can still get an upgrade somewhere. Maybe you still want to get Trinket XY, spend your crests. That's important at this point. And one more thing is the Great Vault, because those commendation badges will also be reset there. Commendation badges, if you still have some on hand, I don't know. In an emergency, you can get 2 badges here for 1,000 gold. It's still better than just having those things sitting in your inventory. You can sell them too. But I think you don't get 500 gold each for them, but a little less. So here too, you know, make sure you maybe spend a bit and get something for it. And yeah, otherwise, Brood of Viranoth, that's another topic. So, Master of the Turbulent Timeways. If you haven't completed that achievement yet, I would do that. So you can still get the mount if you're at 3 out of 4, and the rest is actually pretty irrelevant. So things like doing old content or something like that. For example, I haven't maxed out my reputation almost anywhere yet. But I honestly don't really care about that because there will still be the dungeon quests. Some of them will also involve the new dungeons, and you'll still get reputation from those. Delves will once again give you plenty of faction reputation at the end again, so by the end of an expansion, you'll definitely get them to max. At least I managed to do that in the War Within as well. I wouldn't stress about that. And even if you haven't played a certain type of content, it's actually not a big deal. For example, here, Naketal and Val. Blizzard has adjusted almost all of these things so that at least field commendations and the new Season 2 crests still drop. So this content can still be played in Season 2 if you want to. So it's not like in the past where only Season 1 items would drop here and no crests or anything. There are still Adventurer and Veteran gear, but the content is more or less still playable in Season 2, and Blizzard keeps it somewhat up to date with the rewards. Yes, that's how it is. So far, it's a good thing. That covers the whole topic. I hope I was able to give you some tips. The most important thing, in my opinion, is actually to finish the first chapter of the campaign. And make sure to spend some of your currency here so you don't waste anything. That would be a shame. And yeah, that's it from me. As I said, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. So, see you in the next video. Have a great time and take care.